I think actually if Leyra wins this, I believe both runners will be in the bracket because Pika should already be in. Rune is crashing. Run for your life.
I think that's the wrong game.
I think so too. Oh, I'm gonna start off with a single arrow. But yeah, the top 4 players from the fall secondary tournament and the top 8 from the fall primary tournament will automatically move on to bracket stages, and I believe Pika falls into the top 8 category if I remember right. But got a very quick start there. We have a pendant at Tower of Hera and 2 crystals at Eastern Palace and Desert Palace. Pika and Leyra are going to throw that magical floating bush and get the Candace Samaria from Uncle.
Very nice starting item.
Oh, I'm actually being corrected in chat that the some of the players may not be actually the top 12 may actually not be in. That's right. You may not have to go through Swiss rounds. That's a valid point. But both of our runners making their way through good old Hyrule Castle here. Get to use that cane. See Pika go ahead. Oh, nicely done. Actually wanted to get that bomb drop I was just about to say, and he got it on that first guard.
Yeah, that's pretty good to get before they get to the sewer section.
Yes, indeed. So, Pika's a final on Key Sandy. I may be mixing my tournaments up. Dang it, guys! We have way too many tournaments going on in the Zelda Link to the Past community. I love them all. So, yeah, Pika was in quarterfinals for Key Sandy. You guys are correct in chat. I am just getting my tournaments mixed up. I watch way too much Rando. Got a small key and a blue potion in that chest right there.
Very nice item to find.
Indeed. So keep in mind with that small key, that means that we're not going to find that hanging out in the sewers, which means that we're still looking for a map and I believe 3 more items. There can be too much rando. Well, we unfortunately, as human beings, we should probably sleep sometime just for sanity's sake. Pika gonna be using the block strats here to take care of ball and chain guard. A little bit slower than Leyra using the pot strat.
Yeah, but Leyra gets those 300 rupees, so it's nice to have, especially at 350. You're only 150 short of Zora.
Yep. One of the things to keep in mind too, even if they get to a nice even 500 here, Zora logic's not determined by your rupees, because the game assumes that if you have Zora access, you'll just farm up for the rupees anyways if you don't have enough. But it will open that up as an early check possibility if the runners decide to, and it will also give them access to the bottle vendor in Kakariko. And Leyra going up to the sewer access here. And yeah, as far as the early map check, not a lot of players will do that. They'll try and go ahead and complete the whole castle and escape usually before they check. But you can check early. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect anything too much. Info's info, and you're going to find out eventually. So early check, late check, As long as you check and know where you need to go, I think that's all that really matters. And just a big 20 in the first chest. So we're still looking for that map. So we're going to see our runners use the cane here to deal with the key rat. Leyra, very nicely done. Let's see Pika do it. He's going to spawn first and throw it later. They were using that one bomb to open up the side here. Gets another bomb back in return. There's the map. And a piece of heart and a big 20. So not a whole lot for our runners to start with here.
Yeah, but that bomb will allow them to either check the well or the back of Blind's hut initially without having to buy more bombs.
Indeed, and of course there could be a bomb hiding there. I've seen that plenty of times. There's a bomb hidden, 3-bomb stack hidden behind a single bomb place. Of course, there'll be an item here in Sanctuary, so our runners will check that. And just a little bit of love. That was not a whole lot of good stuff in Escape, but they do have a bottle, so they have a bottle and 100 rupees. That means that a full Kakariko Light World clear is certainly possible here.
Looks like Leyra is actually opting to skip checking the lumberjack ledge and going a somewhat unconventional way into the Lost Woods.
Yeah, Pika's going to do the kind of was I like to call, I've heard other people call it the meta routing here, which is to go check lumberjack ledge to know if you have early aga required. I couldn't see what that was, but it obviously wasn't anything too important. It might have just been arrows.
It was a 10 bomb capacity upgrade.
Yep. And a big 20 in the Thieves hut there in Lost Woods, and only a 10 arrow capacity upgrade on lumberjack ledge. So not a guarantee that we have early aga, but not necessarily off the table yet. We'll have to rely on our items to see what that's going to be. But Leyra's just going to go ahead and skip it entirely and just do the Kakariko routing now.
My guess is Leyra won't go back and check until the boots have been found.
Probably. Really, this early in the game, it's just an info check to know if you need to do it. And Leyra's going to use that one bomb on the blind hut basement. Shovel. That's a good find to start. Powder.
Wow. Oh, and the flippers.
And the flippers. Ooh.
So no having to fake flipper up to the waterfall fairy.
Oh, no. Oh, indeed. That certainly will be a little easier.
But a sword from the bottle vendor.
Very nice. Very nice find. Well worth 100 rupees. And Leyra's going to go ahead and just buy some more bombs. Not a bad decision. Pika's got 3, so that will be helpful. Won't have to go down and buy. Leyra's going to go ahead and check the Cuckoo Hut here. So once we probably get through 300, so absolutely we've got Zora in check possibility here early. Pika's going to go ahead and dive into the well, get a big 20. Big ol' heart. Another heart. And a bee in a bottle.
Nothing too important. That bottle might be useful later on.
Indeed. Pika getting his sword now. So we haven't seen Sick Kid yet. We'll see it from both runners. See that check from both runners here in a moment. And once we do this, chat's got something they're talking about that I have an answer for, so I'll help them out. Hammer! Okay.
Very interesting.
Powder Bat's now in early logic here. We'll get to see what's in the tavern.
Oh. And Power Gloves.
Okay, so we're just a Moon Pearl away from Dark World access at 10 minutes. That's really good. So we'll see what's on Powder Bat, and we probably will see just library check, maze check, and yeah, that shovel check, and then we'll probably see him go south. This is a really interesting seed so far. I think he's gonna go ahead and skip that for now. Let's see if it bites him in the butt. No, that's just a big 20. Okay.
Yeah. Nothing to write home about.
Yeah. I think there's just a big green rupee sitting on the shelf there,
I
unfortunately.
believe there's a green potion.
A green potion? That's a good guess too. But yeah, Pika's got the shovel out. Gonna be checking that. Just a heart. Oh, he will probably skip it. I don't know about Leyra. It was a green potion. Okay. Yes, it was. Okay, I just saw green, so I was like trying to process green things in my head, and green rupee came to the forefront first. What's in the dick spot? Oh, just a little bit of love. But chat was asking about the getting the mirror, and then you get the mirror in Sanctuary chest earlier, and then you try to do the mirror trick to get to the other side of Sanctuary, and it takes you back to the start of Escape. The reason for that is because, I'm sure most of you guys know this, Escape, Sanctuary, and Hyrule Castle are kind of all one dungeon. So yeah, the flag hasn't been tripped yet that you've gone out that bottom door. And then whenever you go to Sanctuary, I believe the game just says, that's the way you came in. So that's why it sends you to the bottom door. Mini Moldorm Cave here from Pika. While Leyra's going ahead to do the Swamp Drain. There's the Moon Pearl. Okay.
More bombs, more bombs. More bombs, and the flute.
The flute. Oh my goodness, what is this seed? Gabe, what is this seed?
It's a very open seed right now.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of, not necessarily a lot of access to do a lot of things yet. We still need that mirror. So an early mirror would pretty much open up all of the light world here and a significant portion of the dark world, but we'll be looking at an Agalus seed today with that. Our runners have access to the dark world. Plus, having that flute is going to be very nice.
So Pikapal gets a heart container from the hobo.
Indeed. Sorry about that. I cut you off there for a moment on accident.
I find it interesting that Pika didn't want to go check what was in the waterfall fairy or the ice rod cave, but at the same time, the flute is kind of big.
Well, I think getting that flute early, well, that gives you 8 spot number 8, where you can just go check ice rod at any given time, and you also get access to spot number 2, which you can probably route that all in together there. Just flute to 2, go ahead, open up the big rock there, and then make your way up, do all the stuff. Feels like a a smart play to go ahead and get that duck. And Pika may be going to get the yeah, I think they'll check Powder Bat now. He's back in Kakariko.
Very efficient routing, honestly.
Yeah, you know, you might as well get it now, even if it's nothing, because you just want to get these hard to reach overworld locations out of the way. The ones that are really hard to wrap into routing. Leyra's got 50 rupees and a heart in the waterfall cave.
So again, nothing too game changing. We still have that item at Zora and the item on Zora's ledge. So Leyra fortunately will give us a little peek at that.
And just a big 100 on the ledge. We also have a Gina's cave. It's possible item location, but I don't think our runners will check that quite yet. What kind of life lesson do you think we're going to get from King Zora today?
Ooh. Honestly, a big 20, but I'm hoping for the boots.
Well, that would be something. Oh!
It is a big 20.
I don't know if that's a commentator curse or commentator wizardry. Technically, the answer is neither because the seed's all pre-generated. Pika's gonna go into Dark World. We'll probably get a check here shortly to know what's what. He's gonna go to Skull Woods to start with.
Honestly, don't blame Pikapals for checking Skullwood so early because it's such a quick and easy check, and then you also have Village of Outcasts right below you.
I would agree. There's only two things to check here, so you might as well poke around a little bit in this one. And if there's nothing here, there's the big key. So that's going to be another chest that Pika will be able to check. But, you know, poke around here, see if you get your 2 items early. Maybe it's something progress, maybe it's nothing, and that just kind of red rank. Maybe it's kind of puts your mind at ease that you don't really need to open up a bunch of chests.
Mihan, now that Leyra has the flute activated, where do you think they'll head to?
Well, that's a good question. Maybe they'll kind of dip into the Dark World here. Not entirely sure, though.
And that looks to be the case.
Yeah, I would figure you're already here. You know, go ahead and check Village of Outcasts, maybe Thieves Town. And just a small key. Yeah, Pika's gonna Death Warp. Which really won't get him too far because he's gonna be right back at that door just with more hearts. Yeah, okay, gonna go ahead and make the journey back to Village Outcast. There's our check. The red crystals are at Mire and Ice Palace.
Yep, and Turtle Rock is our red pendant, and Thieves Town is our green pendant.
Very nice, yes. You think that means that our runners are just going to go ahead and clear Thieves Town and get that green pendant?
Yeah, I think Leyra will at least head in.
I feel like just because it's a quick enough dungeon, probably especially for Pika and Leyra, that, you know, to get all the items. There's the mirror.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Pikapals hot on Leyra's heels, doing the same thing.
Indeed. Indeed. So, with the knowledge of what our crystals are, is the big key. We do know what items are going to be needed for Go mode now. Quake.
Yeah.
So beyond the usual second sword and the hook shot, we will have Fire Rod at least one of the medallions, if it's not Quake for Misery Mire, the lift upgrade, and presumably a fire source, maybe other than actually, you know what? Both these rooms probably know all the dark rooms, so I'd assume they won't need lamp.
And we will also need the bow.
Correct.
Leyra in the C-shaped house and finds just a 5 bomb capacity upgrade. Again, not too crucial.
No, Peak is going to go into the second half of Thieves Town here. Libra will skip that for now. Is in the brewery. Just 10 arrows. Yeah, the lamp would be required for logic to get through some of the dark rooms and whatnot, but both of our runners, I feel, are very confident in their ability to do the dark rooms without the lamp. When you're 4-0, you usually have that stuff kind of down pat. And here's at the digging game. Pika goes ahead and grabs. There's the mushroom.
Interesting find.
That's certainly routable in there. With everything else. You just have to fly to 2 to get to that one.
Now, with Leyra finding that mushroom, do you think that's something that will be checked relatively quickly, or do you think it'll be brushed off?
Probably brushed off for a little bit here until there's a need to go get a potion or something. Just get that at the same time. I don't think Pika hasn't been up to Zora, so if Pika goes to do the Zora stuff and already has that mushroom, we'll probably see that turned at the same time just for routing convenience. 50 on Stumpy. Gonna get a big chest check here from Pika. There's the compass, so Blind does have an item.
And then we'll also have that item locked behind the green pendant.
Indeed. Everyone's gonna check Hype Cave, so get your hype on, everybody. Starting off with a little bit of love, which will refill Leyra's bar. Oh, Master Sword! A little bit of love, and a 5-bomb upgrade.
So yeah, other than that Master Sword, nothing too hype.
Well, for Leyra, I think getting that extra heart, that refill is probably pretty nice. Only having Green Mail going through the Dark World, not a fun, pleasant experience. And P gets taken down blind, nice and easy. A book! Ooh!
That could be very big.
Absolutely, that will... If Pika goes and does Hype Cave or finds another sword upgrade, that opens up the tablets, and that opens up Desert Palace just right now.
It also allows us to check what is on the pedestal in case either of our runners decide to check that.
Indeed. Ooh!
There's the tempered sword on the pyramid.
Very nice find. Leyra's got Tempered Sword already.
Looks like we'll have a catfish check soon.
Yeah, they actually did not have Desert Palace access yet because they would need the Titan's Mitt to lift up the big black rock that has the portal underneath it. and we've only got the Power Glove right now, so we're one item away from that kind of access. And now with the book, yep, and Pika's got the mushroom.
They were taking advantage of the, I guess the bush reverting you back to have to skip that screen transition, and it's just 3 bombs.
Now, a little bit of a shame, but at the same time, that's not terrible. Actually, Leyra's gonna go do a nice routing in here of Catfish. I like this play.
Pikapals sees that big 20 and nopes on out of there.
What you got today, Mr. Catfish? Ooh.
Not what Leyra wants to see.
No, 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 no. Leyra will be doing the Death Mountain Dark Room. Get the old man out.
Looks like Leyra has picked up the old man.
Making their way back through here. Actually, one of the simpler dark rooms to do. It's mostly just pathing. You kind of run into walls and that point you in the right direction. There's one hole you can fall through, but it's kind of easy once you know where it is.
Blue mail. It's not a bad find.
Certainly not, especially with Dark World still kind of looming all over the place.
Looks like Pika will actually head over to Pyramid and pick up their Tempered Sword.
So we'll be even on swords here. Just bombs inside of Spectacle Rock and a heart on the outside.
Leyra heads into Tower of Terror while Pikapals looks like it's going to do the Mushroom check and the Catfish check at the same time. Probably route in the Zora check also.
It's fairly nice routing. Leyra finding a small key in Tower Pair base. What will be in this big chest? Oh, we're in the basement. Leyra's not actually. Can bounce out.
There is no fire source to be had.
Ah, yes, that's right. Very good point. But we'll see a check here of some of the East Death Mountain Light World locations. Getting burnout on the floating island.
The likelihood that either runner goes back and gets that, I'm not entirely sure, unless they're dead set on checking Spike Cave.
And they don't have the cape to do that at some point here. Nice routing from Leyra. Just a big 20 in that Spike Cave chest will be interesting to see what's in Paradox Cave here. First 2 chests. Ether and 10 arrows. Okay.
Looks like Pikapals is going to do the same thing as Leyra.
Yeah, so Pika's just kind of following Leyra's footsteps right now. Doesn't know he's following Leyra's footsteps, but certainly is. So still seeing our runners pick up all the same items. Just a whole bunch of money on the left side there. What's on the right? Cape.
Cape and Butter Sword.
Butter Sword. Ooh. Okay, so they certainly won't be going to get that cannon burner. I'm a little curious if we're gonna see Leyra go do a bumper cave check. Nope, gonna go
Looks like straight into Pod.
pod. Yeah.
Probably gonna do as much of Pod as what they can do, and then head on out and dip into Eastern Palace.
Indeed, they could probably also get a Hasrella check in here too. See what 3 items are in the back of his hut. I mean, you're here, you might as well. You have the mirror. Yep. Exactly what we're going to see. Oh, he warps into... He phases through into the hut.
He is checking the Ether tablet and just getting a big 20.
Ah, that's a shame. Always like to see some fun stuff on Ether tablet. It's so far out of the way. Just heart, B in the bottle, and the big 20. It's Hasrella's hut.
So we know where all 4 of the bottles are.
And all 4 of the sword upgrades.
Just a small key so far in Pod. I think Leyra's realizing... Maybe not. I'm not entirely sure what Leyra's trying to do. Oh. Okay then.
Oh.
I didn't know
think
that was a thing.
That was indeed really nice. I think it was the bottle glitch we just saw, I believe.
Yeah, we have confirmation in chat that it is a bottle glitch.
Yeah, so that allows you to, without the bow, go ahead and bypass the Gorilla room there. Chat's calling you out, Gabe.
Chat is definitely calling me out.
It took me a moment to realize what the setup was for that, and I realized as soon as that door opened, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what he's doing."
Well, I've read
That's
about it.
how
I've just never seen it executed.
Yeah, likewise. Like I knew what it was when I saw it start out, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, he's doing a battle glitch. Cool. Pika's gonna clean up some of the late world locations he hasn't checked. Layra's just finding all the keys.
There's the hook shot.
Hook shot. Very nice. So that should open up Swamp Palace.
Looks like we'll see a hammer jump from Leyra.
I just love watching this. I can never do this, but I love watching people do this.
Going for the 2-bomb hammer jump.
Very nicely done, Leyra. Well executed there with that that first bomb placement, then the menuing, throwing the second bomb, and getting back in time. And indeed, we're going to see some dark maze room strats here.
Here we have Pikapals again, following in Leyra's footsteps, heading over to Pod, and it looks like they will also check some backup Strahashala's hut.
Oh, that's a really nice warp in. Right in the door. Remember? Oh my, oh no.
Leyra.
Oh no.
Leyra missed out.
Oh no. Titan's mint green pendant.
That is it's a big find.
Pika's gonna go ahead and check the mire area right now, see what medallion we need to get into that.
We go to Pod.
Nice. Check mire shed first. Silvers. Ooh.
It's another big find, but Leyra finds the fire rod.
Very nice. Our runners are finding key and important items that the other doesn't have yet. I would imagine, of course, Pika's gonna have to go into Pod and open up all those things eventually. Just a big 20 on the desert ledge. And Leyra's eventually gonna come on over to Misery Mire to pick up the silvers as well. You know, we'll probably at some point have to see that green pendant dungeon completion.
I wonder when Leyra's gonna realize that.
We also found the lamp in Palace of Darkness, so lots and lots of things. Technically boat lock behind logic, but Leyra using that potion glitch to break that sequence there. Yeah, we didn't really get to see what the Mire pendant, the Mire medallion was.
We did get to see that Desert Palace is not boots locked, so this might be a bootsless seed.
Sure could be. I would imagine if Leyra decides to, if Leyra gets to a point where this progression stops, we may see a dive back into Thieves' Town because it's a very quick clear once you have those first four. There's the shield, second item. I think doing a check.
I do see just Quake, Misery Mire.
Ooh, chat's asking for evil things. There's just this shield upgrade hiding out in Checkerboard Cave. And Pika's actually going to go and check Agina. Might as well while you're here. Oh yeah, that's right. If there was a key in that second chest, yeah, it would not be bow locked. That is right. Ooh, so we know where all the shields are now.
So it looks like they're both actually headed back into Village of Outcasts.
So I do wonder if this is going to be Leyra diving back in and completing Thieves Town. Or if we'll see Skull Woods maybe as the play because of the fire rod.
Yeah, and it also looks like Pikapals is gonna go check Bumper Cave.
This is Big 20. Yep, it's gonna be Skull Woods from Leyra. Pika's gonna check Graveyard Ledge.
Fortunately, no King's Tomb check though.
Yes, indeed. I'm lacking the boots to be able to open that up.
Just 50 rupees, but Leyra finds the Ice Rod in Skull Woods.
Can you say, try next fight?
Try next fight.
Boots on try next. Required for GT Big Key. Even worse, it's a ped boots required for GT Big Key.
Pikapals is picking up the blacksmith while Leyra is just about to drop down to Mocula.
Indeed, and we know this will just be a non-item like a dungeon item or a key, something like that, because we've already got both items out of Skull Woods. If my memory is correct on that. Very quickly done though. Yep, it's the map.
There's Bombos on Pika's side.
Okay, so the question was, what is the Meyer medallion we need? The answer is, it doesn't matter because we have them all. Alright, whatever our smiths have today. Just a big 20, just money smiths. So let's take a look at what dungeons our runners have open right now and what they still might need to find beyond the bow. So looking at Leyra just needs the bow at this point. And the the glove upgrade, and we know where that is.
I mean, it looks like Pikapals is still lacking a fire source, so until they go to pod, they won't really be able to do any of those fire source locked locations.
Correct. Also still needing the hook shot, which is in pod. And the bow, which is kind of the only thing we don't know where that is yet.
Purple chest not having much. Leyra's skipping out on Bumper K because that is also not much. And it looks like they will head to the graveyard ledge. It looks like Pikapals is going to go into... Oh, well, they do have bombos, so that's not really that big of an issue.
Correct. So they will be able to get past this first Freezor and access into the rest of Ice Palace. I also assume Pika is going to be able to do the hookshot room bomb jump to not have to worry about having a hookshot. Titansmiths are a green pendant turn-in item, so you had to beat Thieves Town to do it. Pika did that. Leyra hopped out after getting the first 4 chests in the front.
Leyra will head into Swamp Palace in an attempt to find the Titansmiths.
I would assume so, or possibly be looking for Bo as well at this point. Pleasing Aroma, is it possible to play the game with Alexa voice commands? I mean, someone can probably program it to do that. I just don't think... I think that would be against the rules for the tournament. Just a hunch.
I guess that would fall under the tool-assisted category.
Yeah, I would think so. Can we do the Ice Palace bomb jump? Oh, just a pixel off. Got it that time. Nicely done.
First chest in Swamp was a big 20.
You're gonna go ahead and use bombos to take care of those Freezors. Get the key out of it.
And heads on back upstairs.
Then go upstairs and go to the right here. Walk through this door. A little bit easier of a way to get to these chests over here. The 3 that are on this side. Oh, Bugnet. Nice to see you, old friend. There's the map. Leyra finds the map in Swamp Palace. And the big key. Actually, I like that routing because now that routing's done, Pika can. Actually, no, he doesn't have the hook shot. I was about to say, if he had the hook shot, he could go immediately back and hook shot glitch through the block to be able to get to the one big key item that's important in this dungeon, which is the big chest. Let's find a compass there. Still looking for that bow. Leyra's gonna check the 2 chests here on the left side of the swamp. Nope. And let's see what's in the other one. Nope.
Not also what they want to see.
You know, Pika's gonna go ahead and get in the cold stare here. Oh, here's a hammer. Yeah, hookshot was not bow locked in pod. It was in the chest that you can access right on that ledge there in the big room. One I like to joke to myself always seems to have a key, except the one time it doesn't. It has hookshot or something.
Pika takes down Cold Stare and heads actually back to Death Mountain.
Wonder if this is going to be going up to Tower of Hera. Still doesn't have that fire source, so there's not be able to get to. Oh, there's the bow. Yo, there it is. So we're in no mode.
And a boomerang.
So it turns out if you go mode the first half of Swamp Palace and then check the 2 chests in the basement, you find the bow.
I'd say you'd be golden, but you'd be just speedy instead.
No, if you go fast enough, you get the gold medal. Pika's actually gonna go. Oh, don't tell me he's gonna go check Turtle Rock. He might check it, but don't tell me he's gonna go into Turtle Rock.
My guess is just a medallion check.
I hope so. And it's gonna be quick. He's gonna open it up. You know, just because you're here, you might as well open it up anyways, in case you need to go into it.
Yeah, and Pika nopes on out of there. Doesn't want to touch Turtle Rock with a 10-foot pole.
Cannot blame him for that one because you don't want to have to go in there unless you have to go in there. And that's a good point. Does have all three medallions? Doesn't need to medallion check either way. I guess just just opening up that portal and then opening up the dungeon just in case, but we know that's not going to be needed.
So it looks like Leyra is going to try and exhaust all of their options before heading back into Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm. So basically at this point, Leyra needs to go to Thieves Town and complete it, and then go talk to Zasrala to get the green pendant, and that will put Leyra in go mode. And unless we don't know what is Meyer Quake?
Ezra Meyer is also Quake.
Oh, okay. So I didn't realize we had to check on that from Pika yet. And now Leyra is going to check Lumberjack Ledge, and we'll find it is nothing. And Pika has gone into Turtle Rock. Oh no. Oh, opens the first chest, finds a heart, and nope's out of there.
I'm wondering if Leyra's gonna go. Looks like Leyra's gonna go finish Pod.
Mm-hmm. So where is Pika gonna go now?
It looks like
Pika
also
may
the
be doing
Pod.
the same thing. Yes. Good choice here from Pika. Leyra's going to go ahead and complete the pod and Eastern Palace back to back here, which is not necessarily a bad choice. And it's not necessarily the wrong choice either. You do have to complete both these dungeons, and they're both going to be open and completable now, so might as well go ahead and do them. But without that, Leyra's going to start to run out of potential locations to go check. Unless there's a play up here to go to Tower of Hera next, which that would not be good. Because it won't have Desert Palace access, because you need the lift upgrade to get that from the Dark World and doesn't have the book. It doesn't have Myra access for the exact same reason. It doesn't have Ice Palace access because, again, you need the Titansmith to be able to lift that black rock to get to the portal that takes you to the Ice Palace entrance. So it'll kind of be interesting to see where Leyra goes after this. There's the hook shot for Pika.
Leyra's over at the Helmstar King, while Pikapals is dropping down to get back upstairs. Leyra also dips on into Eastern Palace. Still hoping to find those mitts. But Pikapals finds the fire rod. And then their other small key.
Indeed. So silver arrows were in the Meyer shed.
Pika also picks up the lamp too.
Indeed. Let's make the little return here a little bit easier to get this last chest. There's a couple chests in here. Just a friendly reminder too. Make sure to follow both of our runners, both Leyra and Pikapals.
They put out great content, and I'm sure they would appreciate the follow.
Indeed. And they're both putting on a really good show. It's still, for anyone wondering who's in lead, there's like a number of ways you can look at it and find, Leyra's in lead, Pika's in lead. Still a little bit too early to call at this point, obviously. Still waiting to see who's going to hop into the go mode here first and what dungeons they might have left to complete. But they're both in Eastern Palace now, so... And yeah, Pad is super dead. And presumably, you have to think that Leyra is going to go to Ice Palace next, as that is completely open.
Well,
oh wait, actually
yeah,
no.
Leyra can't get into Ice Palace.
That's right. We did have that discussion just a moment ago. Perhaps now the Thieves Town play is made. No!
Ice Rod Cave, I believe.
Ice Rod Cave. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ice Rod Cave is one of those locations that if you check it really late, it has an item that you need. Like if the bow is hiding out here, man, that's just somewhere that you're kicking yourself for not checking earlier.
Looks like Leyra will head up to Tower of Hera. Meanwhile, Pikapals is still just trucking on through Eastern Palace.
So yeah, I think at this point we can assume, based on what they have, that Pika will definitely be at Goma at some point, because the location of the bow being in a crystal dungeon means that he is going to go into Swamp Palace at some point. Presumably Leyra will also have the fire shield now. And presumably Leyra will also go back into the Thieves Town. It's just, for both of our runners, just a matter of when now, more than anything else.
Looks like Pikapals is making their way up to Skull Woods.
Again, kind of at this point, I think you're looking for one last item. And you're gonna end up completing all these dungeons essentially at some point, so you might as well go through and start finishing the ones that you can do.
Leyra's checking all these chests and not finding what they want. I wonder what's going through Leyra's mind right now.
I have no idea, but it is really easy for everyone who's watching to kind of be like, oh, I would go immediately to Thieves Town, because I hadn't completed that, and Green Pendant, and all that stuff. But there may be maybe certain reasons, of course, that each runner is choosing to go and complete these dungeons in the order they're doing them in. Could be, completing dungeons that are available to complete. Could be just, completing the ones that are fastest to do, regardless of whether you think there's an item there or not.
Looks like Leyra will go check Spike Cave while we have Pikapals taking down Mothula and picking up their second crystal.
Indeed. Nicely done. Yeah, I don't think we'll see either runner really go back into Turtle Rock for some time. That would probably be a place you would check as last resort. Pika's gonna go ahead and check the pendant for everybody, just so we can see what's on here. We know it's nothing important, just a little piece of love. And he's gonna flute out to somewhere. Question now is where? Is this going to be a flute to 6? Going to be a flute to 6, yep. And do Mire and Desert Palace looking for that bow. It's right next door.
Leyra heads on back to Kakariko Village. I'm wondering if this will be the play into Thieves Town.
Well, I would guess so at this point. Leyra's kind of out of options where to check. And back half of Thieves Town would certainly be a nice option here. Plus getting that green pendant. Now we know that green pendant is indeed where we need to go for Leyra to be in go mode.
I'm wondering if Leyra will complete the dungeon, get the green pendant, and realize that the myths... Oh, this isn't even the Thieves Town play.
You can check Bumper Cave, yeah. Oh, maybe Leyra deciding to do some overworld checks. Oh, King's Tomb?
Oh, yeah, King's Tomb.
Nice portal placement there to make sure that when the tomb opens up, you don't accidentally delete your portal back to the Dark World. Red mail. Okay, so we know where all of our mail upgrades are as PK goes ahead and finishes off Lambolas. We know all of our sword upgrades. Both runners have them all. And we know where all of the shield upgrades are too. Which kind of makes me wonder what's left to be in Ken's Tower, in fact. I actually don't think there can be any item actually in Ganon's Tower.
My guess is it'll just be a bunch of capacity upgrades.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a bunch of garbage. Because between both of our runners, neither stepped in the GT, and between both of them, they have the full accoutrement of items in the game.
Yeah, but we do have Leyra heading back into Thieves Town.
Oh yeah, half magic could be in there. That is true.
Now, I'm wondering if Leyra, after defeating Blind, realizes that the myths actually aren't in Thieves Town. Will they go immediately turn in the green pendant?
I would assume so. I would guess. that's a good play to make. You get an item, might as well go do it right away, right? If that's the case, Leyra's going to be able to go mode Ice Palace, Misery Mire, and Desert Palace. So that will be a nice chunk of change there, so to speak. Pika, meanwhile, probably could do Desert Palace after this, which would just leave him with Eastern Palace, Pod, and Swamp Palace to do in go mode once that bow is found in Swamp Palace. And Pod and Eastern Palace are essentially, go find the boss and kill our mustangs, kill Helmasaur King. Yeah,
we're getting ready to check that big chest.
Yeah, we've been in no mode for a while. Our runners just are not in no mode. And you would have to assume, Gabes, that just based on where Leyra would have still open to check and Green Pendant being a thing that you would get from here, you would have to think that Green Pendant turn-in is like coming immediately after Blind is down.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, but I forgot about the book.
That's true, but I would assume at this point you wouldn't do a ped pull in this case. You probably would just go clear Turtle Rock. And the two tablets are a lot more of a pain in the butt to get to than it is just to go over to Eastern Palace, turn in Green Pendant right now and see what you get out of that. I believe that, Leyra is not doing it. Oh my goodness.
He chose the less green of the green items.
Oh no. Not a terrible decision here. You're still gonna have to complete Desert Palace, but I mean, this isn't a bad choice. This is still something you have to complete, and there's still 2 items in here. So yeah, there is that, and the fact that it's a crystal. It is really hard sometimes to figure out what's next when you're watching from up above here, because you're kind of sometimes thinking, well, I would do this, but sometimes what you would do would not necessarily be the right call, and sometimes you just happen to know that it's the right decision, and perhaps there's a little bit of bias playing into there too. So routing these things is absolutely not easy sometimes when you have a bunch of options, and it's really easy to kind of quarterback while commentating. But yeah, this is still pretty good from Leyra. Gonna get the crystal and the 2 items checked here. And presumably we're gonna presumably Leyra not losing time either, because Pika also did a full Desert Palace clear, so neither runner is going to gain a bit of time here from doing a partial clear, doing go mode Desert Palace.
Pika pretty much, yeah, just takes down Vitreous, and Leyra will be taking down Lamola shortly.
Yeah, I would think, routing wise, I would think Swamp Palace is next for Pika, simply because of the fact that it's a crystal, and you know, completing crystal dungeons at this point ahead of completing a pendant dungeon, especially when you know that it's not going to be a pendant pull. To me, it just seems like the right play is, you know, do what pendant dungeons you can do, and for Pika, the only one left is Swamp Palace. And indeed, that will be the play. Yes, Pika's already pretty much cleared everything except the bosses from Pod and Eastern Palace, so once he finds that bow and gets into go mode, those are going to be very quick clears. Where is Bo? Bo is in Swamp Palace in the basement chest on the right side.
Yes, right next to the boots.
That is very much a room of value. And so yeah, with that complete for Leyra, Ice Palace is not within the logic, and Misery Mire not within the logic either at this point. He's gonna check Agina's cave, it looks like. Because both Ice Palace and Mire require the Titan's Mitts to be able to get access to them from the Dark World. So, kind of wondering if that will nudge Leyra once we see a few more of the overworld locations cleared up here to go do the pendant turn in.
Ooh, but I wonder if Leyra will actually go check the tablets.
Possibly. It'll be interesting too to see if Leyra will skip the Mire Shed, because that's where the silvers are. We don't have Pyramid Fairy check. Yeah, maybe do Bombos now. We're going to the Dark World from here, so.
Yeah, it looks like Leyra will head over to Bombos.
Yeah, not a bad decision when you're looking for one item to clear out some of these hard to get to locations while you can.
So if Leyra checks Bombos, do you think Leyra will also check Ether in addition? Or do you think they'll just say no?
You know, I've already been up the Tower of Hera. I think they might try and hold off on that for a little bit. They might be kicking themselves a little bit once they find get their fluting. So let's see if they go to 5, but they might be kicking themselves once they find that his green pendant turn in. Okay, yeah, they actually are.
There's Ether, or it's about to be Ether.
Goodness, I feel like our runners know actually where the items are. They're just trolling us because they want to. So Pika's about to find the bow and boots. And Pika going ahead and skipping the left side, gonna go downstairs right now, drain the basement, and will very shortly, at about an hour and 20 minutes, be in go mode with 2.5 dungeons left to do. And I like this call from Pika as well. There's the boots, and at 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 57 seconds, Pikapals is in go mode.
Very exciting.
Yep, just gonna skip the rest of the chest. Doesn't need to open anything else up. And now just has the last little bit of Swamp Palace. Last little bit of pod and last little bit of Eastern Palace. Leyra now going to turn in that green pendant. This is going to be a Furious Pipes moment for sure. And right behind, 1 hour, 20 minutes, 42 seconds, Leyra is in go mode. So both of our runners in go mode. Leyra's going to do Mystery Mire first. And yeah, Leyra has not checked Mire Shed for those silvers.
And I'm not expecting Leyra to check the Mire Shed.
No, I think Leyra's just go mode. You know, I'm gonna do the silverless.
Leyra's probably pretty upset.
And Pika's gonna go ahead and do pod first, then Eastern Palace to do the final dungeon for him. Or perhaps we'll go back to the light world immediately right in front of the. Actually, no, I would do pod first, yeah, because that way you save on a couple screen transitions, so it's just a little bit quicker. Yeah, so this is basically just gonna be a quick run to go kill Helmasaur King, and then come back out, mirror to the light world, go kill Armos Knights, and then up to Ganon's Tower. So this is definitely still a pretty close race. And yeah, silvers once again aren't in Mire Shed, so very good chance that Leyra will bypass them. There's the big key for Pika. And we'll pick up that last key so that he'll have access to Helmasaur King. And actually, Leyra making the right decision to go to check the vanilla location here for the Mire Big Key, because they will find it.
So yeah, this is definitely a very close race. It'll come down to a large portion of it will come down to Ganon's Tower and execute a gamble of left to right side.
Indeed. And it will also perhaps come down to the decision of, well, not decision, but I guess the luck of finding those silvers for Pika versus Leyra probably not going to check Mire Shed because go mode, you know. But we'll see after this if Leyra hops out and checks Mire Shed before mirroring over to do. Leyra's already done Desert Palace, so.
Yeah, I can't really see why Leyra would think to check Mire Shed, especially if they already have everything they need.
Yeah. At this point, you might just you might end up mirroring out, just going over to 8, do a nice palace, and being done with it. Very nicely done so far for Pika. Well executed. Helmasaur King down. That's crystal number 6. They were now working through the dark rooms of Misery Mire. I mean, Andy actually dropping some knowledge on us for the Misery Mire key location, saying that if the chest north of the torch room has a small key, then vanilla key location is always the way it works. Very cool. Did not know that. And Pika now very quickly walking through Eastern Palace on a mission to tear apart those Armos Knights. Yeah, Pika definitely in the lead at this point. It's going to be very close, though. And so as Pika is working through the back half of the Eastern Palace, Leyra is going to be go moding Ice Palace. And this is actually a fairly fast go mode here. Once you get that Ice Palace bomb jump in there, it's only like a minute or two. But by the time Leyra's on gold there, Pika's gonna be up at Ganon's tower. And Pika's got crystal number 7, so speaking of that, Gabes, would you like to talk to our chat about a fun little game that we have here?
Here at the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past Randomizer community, we like to play the Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. Pick a number between 1 and 22, and if you guess correctly and you have donated 250 bits across any of the Speed Gaming channels, or you're a current subscriber, you will be placed on a leaderboard. Get your guesses in before Pikapals enters into Ganon's Tower.
And indeed, keep in mind that the key number will be based, the key location number will be based off of what Pika goes through, because Pika will be the first one through the GT front door. So, what's your thought on where we might find this, Gabes?
I usually like to guess number 3, implying like it is the torch.
It's always a trolley spot. I'm gonna say number 12. Put it in rando room again. I always like to guess that's the lucky number, so why not? I would not be surprised if both of our runners feel like they're behind right now, just based on the locations of the items here being in inside of crystal dungeons or in fairly trolly locations like the Green Pendant Turn-In.
We have Leyra dropping down that cold stair while Pikapals enters into Ganon's tower and heads to the right side. Do you think we will see a full right gamble?
Nope, because we don't have a key, so.
No key.
But yeah, Leyra is actually not that far behind at all. It's gonna have to climb up the desert. Very nicely done with the cold stair fight. Very, very nicely done. It just has to climb up Death Mountain now to do. While Pika is working through all these rooms here. Unfortunately, one of the things, unless Leyra goes and steals the key and does right side after that, unfortunately, one of the things is knowing that the right side is key-locked probably means that both runners will take the same path through GT to find the big key. And so far through 7 chests, nothing yet. 8 double bar room. Nope.
Pal's demonstrating those red boomerang strats to us.
It's always nice to see. And Leyra's going to go ahead. Didn't open up the Turtle Rock portal, so just going to go through Super Bunny Cave. And we are now up to the rando room chests coming up in just a moment here. And we get to see how wrong I am. That's 10, 11, 12. Yep, I'm wrong. 13. Oh, rando room flush with cash.
So if you guessed above 13, you still have a chance.
Indeed. So if it is on the right side, the craziest thing that Leyra could do would be to go get the big key, to go get the small key from the left side room, that left side room right there, and then go ahead and just do right side. It'd be a huge gamble, but or do that and then do tower room. If it's a tower room, oh man, that would be something.
That would be a
Bob's chest.
Yeah, Bob's just not having anything, but that would be a very big advantage to Leyra. Oh, immediately going left side though.
Okay, a little bit of time save, but Pika's already on Armos Knights. We'll get to see if it's behind the Armos Knights here. The vanilla location. One more chest. Oh, it's on the right side.
Ooh.
Somewhere. Now comes the question. Where on the right side do we check? Do we stop in tile room and check there? Or do we do the full right side clear? Wait a minute, wait a minute. Leyra's going right side.
Very
goodness.
interesting.
Oh my goodness. That's a whole bunch of time just made up. Dork Magician strats. Absolute. That's the right call. Leyra doesn't know this is the right decision. But it is.
GG in Leyra's name stands for Great Gambles.
Indeed. There it is. Somewhere. Is it in 21? Oh, it's in tile room.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I wonder if Leyra will go back and clear the left side before going to check tile room.
See, chat was hoping for tile room. So, no, we know where Big Key is now. 22. So, go ahead and throw that in there for you.
It looks like Toasted Zergling was the correct guesser.
Indeed. Congratulations, Toasted Zergling, for guessing tile room and being correct. Oh, Leyra's gonna clear from the right side here.
A little bit of issues though.
Mirror's out. Maybe go to the right now. Go to the left, I mean. Yeah, unfortunately, gonna go do left side clear to get to Armos Knights. And Pika's got that big key. And, oh, GT, he's gonna go. At 135 even, getting on to floor number 3. I mean, you cannot and should not blame Leyra for this, because tile room, going to do tile room immediately after clearing right side and just clearing that whole right side, that's almost never something that comes up within the logic. So it's not something that, you know, is very common. So almost, I think everybody who plays Randall probably would make the same call right now. Do left side. There's more chests over here. There's greater odds in it being tile room. And tile room's a lot slower than clearing out a lot of these chests too. Pika very quickly working through Gauntlet here. And Leyra has made a lot of very good plays tonight. Just a little bit unlucky with the late dip back into Thieves Town. Pika very quickly getting through Lamolus. I get to do one of the most fun and satisfying grooms in the game. Boom. That is just so wonderful.
Quick and easy.
And let's do it again. Leyra is about to find out the unfortunate fact that tile room is where the big key is. Pika, meanwhile, with that hook shot out, going into a mold worm fight here. Should be very, very quick and easy.
They were taking advantage of the cape glitch, where you just pull on the wall and does not actually use magic.
Indeed, and Pika opening up that last chest to find the map. Very useful to have the map up at the top of the tower, right at the end. And you could have needed it at the bottom.
We have Pika at Aghanim 2.
Very nice
That's
double.
a double. Another double?
Indeed, probably gonna get one more double here. We can set this up. Oh,
Oh, and the single.
he's got this now. Nicely done. And while Leyra now working up to Gauntlet. The Cacatuar bunny sprite is a chocobo. And Pika now on the Ganon fight. It should go fairly smoothly. Did you know that the first passengers in the hot air balloon were a duck, a sheep, and a rooster?
Did not know that. Today I learned.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Ganon. Ganon facts. They're actually kind of useful. Pika on the phase 3 of Ganon.
Getting hit with those fire bats a few times.
I think we do have a couple of safeties in tow, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh, nicely done. Moving out of the way before that tile floor dropped out from underneath them. please. Did you find the arrows in the Dark World? The answer is yes. Pika did indeed find them in the Mire Shed. Get the torch glitch.
Getting a double.
Ooh, very nicely done. And Ganon is down.
GG's to Pikapals.
And Pikapals has finished with an official speed racing TV time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 20 seconds. So Pika moving to 5-0 and qualifying for the bracket stage. Congratulations to Pika. Very, very nicely done. And really, that early green pendant turn-in was really looking like what the winning play was here.
You're actually joined by Pikapals now. Congratulations, Pikapals. How are you feeling?
Hey, thanks. I'm feeling pretty good.
Indeed. Congratulations on qualifying for the bracket rounds as well. So, how do you feel about that seed and where all of the items were, and the fact that Swamp Palace had your Go Mode item to bow?
That seed felt like it could have been a whole lot faster. All I had to do was not shy away from Pod when I was right next to it.
Yeah, we were in no mode here in the commentary booth for about a good half an hour, while you and Leyra were running around all over the place looking for that last item and going everywhere but the place we knew it was.
Oh boy.
It was kind of fun. But Leyra is right now working through the end of Gauntlet up in Moldorm fight, so not too far behind actually.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a pretty entertaining race.
Oh, Leyra went for the hover.
Yeah, actually just fell. It's quite unfortunate.
Yeah. I think Leyra knows that the race is over, just doing the hover for the kids. And
Yeah,
great
it's just for
showman.
fun.
I'm gonna hookshot over now, picking up the map in that last chest. So was there anything, as far as the seed went, was there anything that kind of gave you a bit of difficulty there, Pika?
I mean, I think the hardest thing I was having was coming up with good places to go. Like, after I got the mitts, I was like, okay, I'll check Mire area, and then there's Ice Palaces. I don't have fire. There's the dwarf stuff. There's 2 chests on Dark Death Mountain. Like, there kind of just became difficult to figure out, okay, what is actually my best call here?
And we're about to drop into cannon here, so I'm about to finish up as well. So finding the early Dark World access, did that kind of take a little bit of a burden off your mind, knowing that you had that very early bunch of stuff, everything pretty much except the Moon Pearl in Kakariko, and then finding the Moon Pearl hiding out not too much later?
Yeah, it's always nice to find all that Dark World access right away. Just be able to hop right in, and then finding the mirror right afterwards is just an extra bonus.
Indeed, and Leyra's on to phase 3, going through a little bit of the warps. Did you find arrows in the Dark World? Unfortunately, Leyra was in go mode after having completed Desert Palace. So they did Misery Mire and Ice Palace in go mode and did not check the Mire Shed for the silvers. So there, you can see a little bit of the old spinneroo here.
I'm sure they'll do fine in it, though.
Yeah. I mean, when we were talking about this in chat. When you're at 4-0 in Swiss rounds, you don't get there just by being lucky. You get there because you've got the skill, the knowledge with the routing, knowledge and execution to get through everything here in a very quick and efficient manner.
Yeah, definitely.
And Leyra now has taken down Ganon. Just needs to step through that door to make this official. You get those GGs in chat there for Leyra, who has finished with an SRTV time of 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 27 seconds. Very nicely done for both of our runners.
Yes. GG's to both of you.
Indeed. Anything that you wanted to ask real quick here, Gabe?
Not right at the moment. I have a few questions for Leyra, but let's see if we can get Leyra in here.
Okay. Sounds good.
We're now joined by Leyra. Leyra, how are you feeling after that seed?
Ooh, that was a doozy. It's a little rough.
So you went into Thieves Town incredibly early and immediately left, or not almost immediately left. What was your thought process behind that?
I kind of figured I got 2 out of the 4 items plus green pendant, and it's like 60 seconds to check those 2 items or get those 2 items, and it's another like 3 minutes to get the rest.
Feeling after that
and
seed?
At that point, I kind of just rode that gamble out, and then I got baited by the book. That was kind of a pain.
So you went into Thieves Town incredibly early and immediately left. Or
decision you made early there to
left.
dip
What was your
out
thought
of
process behind
Thieves
that?
Town? Was that just you were going to check the first 4 and dip out and worry about it later if you needed it?
Yeah, pretty much. Thieves is just, I think it's a lot slower than people realize to full clear. And I got, like I said, I got 2 items out of there. If I had only got 1, I might have done the back. That probably would have been better for me. But
Yeah, probably. Ultimately, what happened was Pika went ahead and completed it.
So
that green pendant did turn in.
the decision you made early
actually
there
looking
to
for the
dip
bow
out
that you
of
found
Thieves
in
Town.
Swamp Palace. So
Was that just
you
you
guys
were
were
going to check
both
the first
for
4 and
about
dip out
half an
and
hour
worry about
there
it later
looking
if you
for
needed it?
1 item each, and you were looking for different items. So it was just kind of a race to see who would do the check first that got them their go mode item.
yeah, as soon as I got everything but mitts, and I was just stuck there, I was the whole time thinking, man, I really hope Pika got the mitts and went to Turtle Rock and stuff like that. That was my only prayer.
Now, Pika, you did actually dip into Turtle Rock for a brief moment, opened up that first chest and found the heart and said, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, I sure tried to go through Turtle Rock, but that, Fire Rod and Bowless Pod kind of said no.
Yeah, I was like, man, I really hope he goes to Pod and gets all this junk and then goes to TR and just doesn't go to Swamp.
Indeed. And Pika also picked up the silvers. They were in the Mire Shed. So
Ah,
Yeah, he picked them up while he was looking for Bo.
Yeah, I was just wandering around for like 30 minutes going like, I can't complete any crystals yet. What is wrong? I have almost everything I need.
It's kind of, yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of funny because Leyra, you were in the same kind of mentality there. You didn't have the Titansmith, so you couldn't do Ice Palace or Misery Mire.
yeah, in general, like having Titansmiths be your go mode is a really good thing, but it was literally the last place I checked, and then my Ganon's Tower was like, cue the Benny Hill music.
Yeah, I was actually really worried that you would have skipped out on Pendant Thieves Town and then just checked that last and gotten Mit's go mode, because I spent a lot of time in Mit's locked locations getting absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's like I said, that was gonna when I was stuck on myths, that was my one hope. But all the places I checked weren't where the myths were, unfortunately.
Yeah, having that big key beaten tile room of all places, we were watching that. So yeah, Larry, you did. You kind of were doing a dark magician strats there for a moment once you had those keys. Went back over to the right side and made up a whole bunch of time because Pika had just gone to the right side to do the clear. And, yeah, unfortunately for Pika, you knew that tile room had to be the location, and Leyra, you did not know that was the case.
Yeah, I was dashing through there. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if tile room was here, and I went for it, but you just can't ever make that play. It's too dumb to actually do.
Boy, well, this seed sure had a healthy dose of dumb all around for where those item locations were.
Yeah, it was fun though. GG's Pika. Good job, dude.
Yeah, GG. Good luck in your next match.
Thanks, man. Maybe I'll see you in a few weeks in the brackets.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I'll try and stay on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, indeed. So Pika moving to 5-0, automatically qualifying for the bracket now with those 5 wins. Leyra drops to 4-1, but you're still in a pretty good position, Leyra, at 4-1. You just need 1 win in your last 2 matches to pull through. Anything going through your mind right now? You're just kind of thinking, okay, just need one of these next 2, and no real pressure at this point.
No, I don't feel too bad. I knew Pika's really, really good. I knew this was going to be a tough match for me. And I got to win 1 out of the next 2. I got the long week, so maybe I can actually practice a little bit for once. But nah, it's okay. I might feel pressure if I lose this week, but for now we're all right.
All right. Any last shout outs you guys want to make here, or?
I think I'm good. I appreciate you racing with me, Pika. Thanks for commentating, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a fun race. Good game again, Leyra, and thanks for the commentary, guys.
You
Not a
are
problem.
very welcome.
Indeed, and make sure to follow both Leyra and Pikapals. 2 very, very good runners. You don't get the 4-0 unless you have a lot of skill in this game, and like I said, are able to execute really well. So I also want to give a quick shout out here to Cryptics for doing all of the tracking tonight for this crazy little seed that we had here where everything was kind of all over the place. So thank you very much for doing that, Cryptic. Also, I want to say thank you to Gabes for co-commentating tonight. It was a very enjoyable time with you, sir.
It was a great time.
All right, and doing a very quick check here for all of our friends who might want to watch some more Rando. We do have a race that's going on right now. Wolfie and Kayutopia are going on Speed Gaming 3. Their match started at 10 o'clock, so they're about half hour in right now. And if you want to catch a fresh race, over on ALTTP Randomizer 2, Withheld and Mega Patches are racing. And we also have, believe it or not, we have Rando After Dark here. McLagging and Act the Bacher are going at it on Speed Gaming at midnight. And this is all Eastern time, by the way, I should mention. And then at 12:15 a.m., Arboretic and Buzz Thunder will be going at it on Speed Gaming 4. There's also a 5 a.m. match on Speed Gaming between Dave and Myth197.
Very exciting.
And we've actually got rando all through tomorrow morning too. Actually, matches at 8, 9, 10 a.m. and at noon. So you can have you can wake up with a rando as well, man. There's just so much rando going on these next couple days here. This is incredible. So I think with that, I think we'll get ready to sign off here. So anything you want to say real quick here, Gabe?
Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you all again soon.
Good night, good luck, and good RNG, everybody. Take care.